What's up guys, Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and I'm here today with a casual round at Mercer County Park Disc Golf Course in West Windsor Township, New Jersey. This course was originally designed by Joe Palladino for his Eagle Scout project around 2010, but a few years ago the course was expanded by the club to 18 holes, and it's really something special. While the course has very little elevation change, it still provides plenty of challenge with a good mixture of wooded fairways and open but windy holes. It's Labor Day, and I know work is going to be rough this week, so let's get my round in. Hole 1 is a short par 3 in the A position. It's dedicated in memory of Carl Cubbage, aka Cubby. He was a local legend. If you ever saw him play, you know he'd be taking a driver at this hole to try to get an ace. My play is a little different. I'm just going to take my overstable putter, my plasma entropy, try and put it up nice and high and let the wind and stability of the disc carry me into the tree line to give me a putt. A little bit of a yank on the first tee, put it out wide. I do get thrown back in by the wind and the stability of the disc, but I'm left with a tricky putt from the edge of the wood line. So as you can see, I'm here on the right-hand side. Got to straddle out and split these two trees for the putt. And just get it up over the rim. No change required. Starting with a birdie feels good. If hole 1 had you thinking this was going to be a walk in the park, hole 2 will sober you up very quickly. This par 4 is only 420 feet, but as you can see, there's a lot that can go wrong here. My play is a neutron reactor up the gut and bend with the fairway to the left. The release feels good, but it does turn in a little early and kick a tree, but I'm okay with it. As long as it's not an early tree kick, it's not disastrous. However, birdie is probably out of the picture. So I kicked in left here into the corner, and as you can see, I have a lot of little gaps to play with, but there is a lot that can go wrong. So I'm looking for my safest play. My ideal goal is to get to that sunny spot out front, because from there I have an open hyzer to the basket, and I can get a par and walk out of here. Back here with a Fission Volt, and I'm just going to play a little touch forehand. I do tickle some of the right side rough, but again, I got good distance. I am under the last Guardian tree on the right-hand side, and I have my Electron Entropy that I put back into the bag. I'm really trying to get into the habit of throwing more overstable, less glidey disc for approach shots, because the Eclipse anode has been sailing on me recently. So I'm going to try and bend this into the green, let the disc do all the work, and I'm under the basket. I'm really happy with that shot. It's something I really needed in my arsenal. As you can see here, I have a nice little tap-in putt. Avoiding damage on hole 2 is a real accomplishment. Hole 3 is a par 4 at 387 feet. Don't let the distance fool you. This hole is frustrating. The smart play would be just to smooth a fairway driver or a mid-range up to the left where the short tee pad is and then play the traditional fairway. I like to take a fairway driver and just control it and hug the right side and give myself, there is a dirty little hyzer line that you can pull off. So I threw this and I thought I was perfect. Unfortunately, I turned the corner and find a tree limb down and I squared this darn thing. So yeah, I was hoping to be about 20 feet further up at least and to the right. But I'm left with this kind of in-between shot now. There's two lines. Neither are really that great. Best advice I ever got is when you have to choose the biggest gap. It's the easiest to hit, so the left side is bigger. But again, it's not that great. So I get some distance, but I clip a tree. It shoots me down to the right-hand side. So you can see here, a lot of little gaps. I'm just going to take a nice, smooth hyzer line. I was very happy with my shot selection here, though, because you'll see there is a direct gap right to the basket, but it's really tight. Like, from my angle, it's about, 3 feet, and there's a wide hyzer angle to the right, way open, so I'm not going to get a birdie, but it's going to be a really stress-free par. And just a nice little, 12-footer, and I walk away with par. For this hole, I will take it. I have been stacking up sixes recently, and I don't want to do that ever again. Hole 4 is a par 3, and it's the old hole 1 from when this course was in a 9-hole configuration. and it remains one of my favorite tee shots on the course. It's a really simple par 3, just a simple hyzer shot or a slight turnover through the right gap. You just have to worry about the right side rough is a little thick if you turn over, and there is a large tree in the middle of the fairway you have to beat. So I hit the gap. This does hyzer out, and there's a bit of a tailwind that slams me down a bit early. I do have a putt, but it's a little bit longer than I would like. So you see here I'm about 20-25 out. Step back, do my routine. Put it up in the air so that way the wind doesn't knock it, and we're good. This is a really good birdie to get. I'm okay with par, but a bogey can really sting on this hole. Hole 5 is a 260-foot par 3, and it's a very interesting tee shot from the long. It looks like it's just a straight shot, but it does actually require a bit of angle to reach the pin. I think the play is either a forehand hyzer flip or a backhand shot that turns over just a bit. So I'm going to try my reactor here, just nice and flat, let the natural turn of the disc work to the right for me. And unfortunately, I got a little bit high in that backswing and turned this disc over a little more than I was intending to. I am going to be inside the circle, but you're going to see this green is really well protected by a lot of trees, and I am behind one. So I'm trying to figure out my play here. I decided to go with the electron entropy. I'm going to straddle out as far as I can because I can just see just like the last 2 links of chains on this thing, so I'm going to try and curve this around the tree. And it actually worked out pretty well. I just threw it up too high, hit the nubs. So I'm just going to roll on up. Do a nice little reactor putt from 7 feet or so. And move along. This is a gettable par 3, but again, par doesn't hurt, and bogeys are stupid, so I'm happy with the par. Hole 6 is one of my favorite technical shots at Mercer. It's a big turnover shot through a really tight alley, and I have it really well dialed in, so it's just fun to see your disc fly within inches of trees and know it's going to work. So I'm taking my beat up electron matrix on a turnover, and I really like this out of my hand, but I just clipped the top of this bunker you'll see right in front of the green. So I lost my forward momentum that would put me pretty close to the basket and left with this long circle's edge putt. The tree on the right is in my line and scares me a bit, and I just float this up way too high. It's a good layup. That shouldn't be a layup. So just have this little 15-footer or so come back, knock it home. Again, take the par, no stupid strokes, and we're moving along. Hole 7 is by far my most hated hole at Mercer County Park Disc Golf Course because these trees just won't go away. Storms have gone through. You could probably drop a bomb on this hole. All the trees will stand. When it was a pole hole when they were first installing it, I parked it, have not been closed since. My play here I'm working with now is just throw an understable mid, and my rationale is the angle I put it on. If I kick a tree, it's going to be somewhere in the middle, and if I cut through like I did here, I'm going to be on the right-hand side, and there is this little hyzer line to the basket. I am just playing for par. So I eye it up, and it looks very similar to the shot I had on hole 2. Just got a patent pending out. Take the electron entropy, just nice and soft, let it die into the pin. And it is actually concerning how good this par felt. That is how much I hate this hole. From my least favorite hole on the course to my most favorite. Hole 8 is a great par 4. It requires a great drive and upshot to get the birdie. I just love this tight tunnel shot. It feels so cool. It just screams for a hyzer flip. The real challenge is beating that thicket of trees in the middle of the fairway there. Either to the left or the right is fine. So I'm taking my most beat up Vision Photon. And unfortunately I start this one off to the right a little bit too much, so it hyzers, flips, and kicks back into the trees and shoots me to the left side rough. So I got up here and I found there was a group in front of me looking for a lost disc. They let me play through. Unfortunately there was a guy on the right hand side where I would have won a play and I didn't want to risk hitting him, so I just played a safety shot out to the left. Gives me this long look at birdie. I step one up there, but I just put it under the basket, and I would go on to tap out for par and just hurry on my way to get out of the group's way. Hole 9 from the long tee is a shot I do not mess around with at Mercer. This is one of the scariest tee shots I've ever seen. The punishment for hitting early is severe, so I just grab my flippiest driver and rip it. Don't even think. Just get it out the gap. If I'm left, it's open. If I'm right, it's open. If I hit that tree, I'm probably still open. So I nip the tree, have a little over 100-foot upshot, just take the electron entropy, give it a fair run. Settles nicely behind the basket, gives me a pretty easy comebacker. Found some grass, wedged inside a little chip in my disc, clear that out. And I knock in the power plant and move along. Again, I have seen a lot of damage on this hole, not interested in it. Thank you for watching the front nine of my casual round at Mercer County Park Disc Golf Course. I hope you enjoyed. The back nine coverage will be coming shortly after I return from vacation this weekend. And as always, thank you to my sponsor. For all your disc golf needs, check out Bria Disc Golf.